You surprised? I wasn't. Bron, now tell me why you do that to them. Why would you go out there and get them boys 35? You know what? We gonna talk about it. Good drinking that shot. We back with another YouTube video, man. Listen, the Battle of LA. That's all we cared about. It was nothing else. It was a lot of NBA games on. We all know nothing matters besides that one. And boy, did they deliver probably game of the year already. If I'm being honest, we can't start this video off with not talking about the past. We have lost to this team, the Lakers. Do you know how hard it is to lose to one individual team 11 straight games? And more times than not, the Lakers was probably more talented and more healthy than the Clippers in a lot of those games. But going into today's game, none of that mattered. We 5 games into the season. Everybody's relatively healthy. Everybody's available for the most part. So when you came into this game, there was no excuses. So we not going to sit here and make no excuses. Everybody that was on the floor was the one that was on the floor. Now let's get into it. Who else do I start the video off of with the king? The glorious king, LeBron James. Am I surprised at what I saw last night? I actually was. And it's not what the numbers say. It wasn't his play at all. It was the how athletic he still is at the age of 38 years old. I think LeBron James' skills is going to translate for the next 2 to 3 years. I really do. I think he's still going to be able to score 25 points a game consistently. But the one thing I thought that was going to dwindle as his career went on was his athleticism. But the stuff that I seen last night, this man still can fly around with the best of them. Fast breaks, steals, dunks, chase down blocks, multiple blocks. He's still doing the exact same things he was doing 10 years ago. Now, I always say, if you hate Bron, that's fine. If you dislike her for whatever reason that is, I can understand that. I would too if a player standing in the way of NBA championships. But what you got to realize, you ain't gonna see this man do this for that much longer. And then you're not gonna see any other player come along and do what he's doing. So hate on him all you want. Just make sure you give him the credit he deserves when you see it. And the role players of the Lakers, boy, did they play today. And it's hard to call some of these players role players, but that's just the name you got to give them. Austin Reaves, bro, you came up big in the fourth. You were struggling mighty healthily. You were shooting, I believe, 4 for 20 from 3 coming into today's game. Was I worried about Austin Reaves going into yesterday's game? Hell yeah, I was. Because I don't know what's wrong with Austin Reaves. I don't know if he left all of his talent back in the FIBA World Cup. I don't know. I told him to go overseas and go pick up his talent and then come back and be ready to hoop. And my boy hooped last night, so I got to give him credit. Oh, let me switch gears for a second. The Clippers. Let's talk about it. I knew what type of energy the Clippers own was from the moment of the tip-off. Everybody know Bron do his little signature handshakes with all of his teammates and all of the opponents that he's playing against, showing respect. I look over to Russell Westbrook. He's having no parts of it. And listen, I love Russell Westbrook. I respect Russ. But listen, the fact is, you are terrible in crunch time. Now listen, you ain't have to shake Bron's hand. Just know, keep that same energy when that energy come back to you. And we'll get to that later in the video. But speaking of Russ actually had a really good game. He made a couple threes that I really didn't think he was going to hit, especially the one in the corner. I think it was the late fourth quarter, and he doing all the taunting and stuff. I see it. Listen, Russ, I see it. I respect it. But if you go do that, you got to make sure you finish the job. As much as I want to come on here and clown the Clippers and how bad they played, they did not play bad, though. Kawhi Leonard looked like he was going for 50 in the start of that first quarter. I think he had like 18 in the first. Now, was I expecting that? Of course. He had a bad game previous. Oh, you should have known Kawhi Leonard was going to come out and go bonkers. That wasn't the shocking part. The shocking part is the fact that we could not stop him at all, even knowing nobody else was playing well. But we go get to Darvin Ham and his adjustments later in the video because we saw what happened and Kawhi Leonard had a rough time in that third. Speaking of Darvin Ham, now y'all know I am not the biggest Darvin Ham fan at all. If y'all do know, especially if y'all on my TikTok, y'all already know I gave him the nickname CTE because he got a rare brain disease that we don't know about. We need information on it. But I have to give credit to when credit is due. I don't know if you did that lineup on purpose. Y'all know what lineup I'm talking about. That 3-center lineup with AD, Woods, and Jackson Hayes, I don't know where it came from. It was the most random thing possible, but it sparked a 12-0 run. Now, y'all debate in the comments, did Darvin Ham do that on his own, or was that Bron call? Because if I had to put my money on it, I'm not a betting man, but I think Bron made that call. Because who in their right mind will see everybody not hitting their shots, not playing that good of defense? We down 13 points. And your counter to that is to put 3 centers in? That couldn't have been your call. But if it was, that was a good call, sir. Now I got to talk about AD. I saved AD for the end. I think this is the year AD win Defensive Player of the Year. This is the one thing that's missing from his resume. Yes, I would love AD to get the MVP, but I think AD is too inconsistent. But the one end on the basketball court that he's not inconsistent with is defense. I think he might average 3.5, 4 blocks this season with 2.5 steals. Now, I think AD should have won Defensive Player of the Year years ago. It's a crazy fact that he don't have one. But if you ask me if AD could win it this year, I would say guaranteed. Oh, yeah, and for everybody that's going to say, oh, yeah, wait till James Harden get in the lineup. Do y'all not understand we did not have Rui Hachimura? That's a 15-point scorer. We did not have Vando. That's our best defensive player that can also hit a 3 in the corner. Also, did not have Gabe Vincent. We know he did not play well yet, but his time is coming. He's going to go crazy at some point, and he did not play. So listen, both teams did not have their full squad. The Lakers came out on top. That's the only thing that mattered. If James Harden wanted to suit up, he could have suited up just like PJ Tucker did, but he didn't want that smoke. That ain't our fault. Get mad at James Harden. Now, what does this win do for my Lakers? I think this is going to catapult us to another level because we've seen a lot of things this game that we have yet seen the whole season. With the in-season tournament coming up, this couldn't have been a bigger win. We couldn't beat this team for nothing. This has to do something for our confidence that we can beat any team in the league if we're actually trying to hoop. Now, I'm not sure who the Lakers got next. I got to see, but I'm going to be honest. I think we can compete with any team in the league if we go out there and actually try to play hard with some effort. Now, with that being said, listen, y'all, I appreciate y'all sticking around for the video. If y'all made it to the end, make sure y'all hit the sub button. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm going to see y'all in the next Laker vid. Love y'all, boys.